We are often attracted to different brands, whether in clothes or food, without asking the following question: what makes us attracted to this certain brand and not others? We all remember the sweets, drinks and ice cream we ate in our childhood, and the shoes we wore while playing our favorite sport. So, what is the reason? It is the emotional attachment to the brand, that attachment that became more like a romantic relationship. This book by Tim Halloran tells us exactly what you need to do to make consumers in love with your brand, and shows step by step how to start, grow and maintain a successful relationship with your consumers. The secrets of romancing your brand are located between the covers of this book, which summarizes the experiences of major international brands that have carved their name in the hearts of consumers. Romancing the Brand by Tim Halloran. Human beings are perfect emotional creatures who can love everything around them, including those brands they have always worn or eaten. It's normal to have feelings for brands, because that's a natural and powerful extension of us as emotional creatures, and it fits perfectly with our human formation. What does that mean for big brand owners? It is simply an increase in the conviction that if marketers want to succeed, in their various fields, they need to think about creating a relationship between consumers and those brands that are saleable products, and by nature it should be a two-way relationship. It must be an interrelationship. When the relationship is good, both parties get what they need most and give their best. The perfect relationship between the brand and the consumer is the one whose entry is by choice, because consumers always have a choice, which is at the same time exciting and reliable, and which is also based on trust, and it is an emotional relationship. Bit to remember: the success of major brands depends on engaging the consumer in an emotional relationship with the product. Just as the individual is required to know himself, so do major companies and institutions are not excluded from this rule. For an organization to be successful, it must be able to understand what is unique about its brand. This is especially true when you find yourself tasked with promoting a brand or business, if you are not dealing with a new product with specific and respectable specifications, so you are inheriting the brand, its history, existing relationships and existing interactions within the category in which it is competing. Only by thinking deeply and knowing the unique features that exist between the brand and the consumer, you will be able to influence the relationship between the brand and the consumer. This simply means that building a reputable brand that has a physical presence in the market requires that you understand your brand completely and accurately, otherwise the consumer won't understand it. Once you know yourself, it is much easier to know what kind of consumer you are targeting, hence, knowing which consumer will be appropriate for your brand. Bit to remember: building a brand that has a physical presence in the market requires a good understanding of the brand. Many researchers in the field of commercial marketing say that brands and consumers must have mutual love relationships, in order to communicate with each other just as if they are two partners in a relation. This requires major companies and brands to pretend that they are the dominant partner in the relationship, which is a successful way in the relationship between couples. Let us give an example. If the brand advertises itself clearly enough, the marketing team may believe that they can get consumers to think about their marketing plan, and their actions become related to it. But in reality, consumers will form their own direct opinions about the brand based on a number of factors, including their own experiences. Also, consumers won't be shy about sharing their own opinions with their real and virtual friends and acquaintances, and there will be more powerful sources for such sharing. This means that what consumers are saying is something that is outside the marketer's control, but it is still within the sphere of his influence. Bit to remember: interrelationships between consumers and brands is the way to success. Based on all of the above, we conclude that building relationships between the brand and the consumer is not easy. It takes time, it requires patience, and all that effort can fall apart in a single crisis. So how should marketers manage the brand in times of crisis? From here, the brand needs a set of procedures to avoid the crisis and therefore tackle the problems. Ask yourself, is there really a problem? Because brand crises are rarely this obvious. Develop an action plan. Once the problem has been identified, create a process for repairing the consumer-brand relationship. Be honest: there is a powerful lesson here. Be open and transparent about the crisis with senior management, partners, and especially consumers. Take advantage of the crisis to strengthen the consumer-brand relationship. Although tackling the brand crisis and consumer-brand relationship may be very difficult, but there is a positive side in it. Make the consumer-brand relationship on the top of your priority list. Bit to remember: tackling brand problems requires successful practical solutions.